Hello friends, it's Kelly Pullum here, also known as Craftin' Granny. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In Canada, and I love to help people explore their creativity using Stampin' Up's amazing products. I offer in-person and virtual classes, and tonight I'm going to be creating a card for you using the Night Divine bundle, and I'm going to switch over in a moment to the desktop so you can see what that includes. I also wanted to mention that I have an upcoming card class in my home on November 16th here in Sudbury, Ontario at 1 p.m. and we'll be making Christmas cards. And I also have the same card class repeated at the Parkside Centre on November 21st. That's the Parkside Centre for older adults here in Sudbury. And that's also at 1 p.m. At the end of this month, I have a very special class coming up, and I'm going to show you the cards for that when I switch to the desktop as well. So lots of things going on. Oh, and one more important thing. I'm going to be at the Sudbury Farmers Market on the fourth Saturday in November, which I think is November 24th, if I've recalled correctly. I'm not sure if that works right. I've got to, just a minute. I'm going to quickly check because I don't want to make a mistake here. It's the 25th. So Saturday, November 25th. I'm at the Sudbury Farmers Market, and last time it was a great time. There were a lot of people there. It's amazing, all of the handmade things that are at the farmers market. So there's a lot of food, and we still did have produce the last time I was there. I don't know if there will be the next time because of course the seasons are changing, but a lot of amazing baked goods, special treats, all kinds of things like that, as well as sewing, knitting, people with handmade lip balms and hand balms, and it's an amazing market. It really is a wonderful thing. I think there were over 60 vendors the last time I was there, and it looks like it's going to be that way. It seems like it's full. So a wonderful thing to see. And the Sudbury market is from 9 till 2. So I'm going to switch over now to the desktop view here. Let me just take a moment. There we go. And now you can see the products that I'm going to be using tonight. So the Night Divine stamp set I'm using, and also the Night Divine dies are going to be used. And then this O Holy Night Designer Series paper. And I wanted to show this paper pack particularly because there are several sheets like this that could be used. People are just using the card, a card-based size, and creating cards using these as backgrounds, which is just gorgeous. There are 3 that are like that, and they actually could be used to make wonderful Christmas scrapbook pages too. I'm picturing maybe scrapbooking a handmade nativity or something like that. That would be beautiful. And then there are these patterned papers. We've got stars and a different kind of stars and a nice ombre blue background. And then when you flip on the other side, you've got some kind of, I'm going to say not neutral patterns, but different designs. This is with copper clay, and it's actually Night of Navy, although I think it works, it might be black. It's hard to tell. It would work with either. And this lovely pattern. So these could be used really all through the winter. It wouldn't have to be used for holiday cards for those. And then we've got another beautiful star piece here, and just a beautiful piece with all sorts of blue shades and a nice pattern on there. So gorgeous paper, and I am really loving it. And this Night Divine stamp set is probably my current favorite. I'm going to see which way do I need to move this to make it straight. There we go. I think I've got it. Okay. So tonight, before I start with tonight's card, I want to show you the cards that are going to be for the class that I'm doing at the end of the month. So this is November 30th. It's a product-based class. So if you wish to participate in the class, you need to register, I think I said by November 17th, and you would need to send me an e-transfer. There are two options for the cost. One is $75, which would get you the stamp set and the star trinkets, plus the materials to make the 5 cards. And that includes, the $75 includes the shipping cost. The other option is $100, which would get you the bundle as well. So that's a much better deal to get the dies as well as the stamp set and the star trinkets and the card pieces to make the 5 cards. And it comes with a written PDF, and we'll be doing the cards on Zoom, but of course you could you can go back and look at that later if you wish. I think I would have to post it maybe to YouTube in a private, make it, for certain people. But anyway, if you wish to participate in the class afterwards, that could be done. So these are the cards for that Night Divine class. I've got the O Holy Night card, Glory. Oh, I got to move them over here. O Holy Night, Glory to God in the highest, Joy and Peace, and this wonderful counselor. I love this sentiment. It's so beautiful and elegant. And then those are the 4 holiday cards. And then in addition, I have this one, which uses the Lord is my shepherd sentiment. And this one is not particularly Christmas. You could give it as a Christmas card, but it's meant just to be a bonus card. So those are the cards for the class. And if you register for the class and you wanted an extra set of cards, you may purchase at the time of registration an extra set of cards for $15. So you would just add that $15 to your total. So you can register by sending, as I said, e-transfer to kellyapullum@gmail.com. Or you can, if you need more information, send me an email to the same address and I'm happy to help you. Okay, so tonight we're making a bridge card. And I love bridge cards for the holidays because they always make such a nice display on the mantle. And I did make a note in the description of tonight's video. This card was heavily inspired by Tammy Beard, who had made a bridge card, and I saw it on Pinterest. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. This is, I rearranged the cameras again. I keep doing this to myself. And so I'm having trouble figuring out where I need to be in order to get the best view here tonight. But I'll keep working at it. Okay. And by the way, hello, Nancy. Hello, Catherine. It's so nice of you to join me. I'm rambling on here and forgot to say hi. Okay. Before I move on, because I keep forgetting to say this at the end of the video, it is so helpful to me if you like and share the video. Alternatively, if you want, if you enjoy this type of card and you want a reference to make this style of card yourself, you can always save this video on Facebook. If you click on the 3 little dots in the comments section, in the video section, there's 3 little dots. Click on those and it gives you the option to save it. And then you can go back and look at the video another time if you wish to make the card. So this one is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And what I did is I scored in at 1 1/4, flipped the paper, scored at 2 1/2. Then I did 180 flip and I scored at 1 1/4, flipped this way and scored at 2 1/2. So I've come in from both ends. So my paper is now going to, I need to get my bone folder. My paper is now going to fold into the center, which I'm going to burnish from both sides and then back out both directions, and I will burnish that as well. Now, this will open up and it makes a card base like so. And the reason we make it this size is because when this folds flat, it will fold in a regular envelope. So this fits in our standard medium envelopes. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to start off first with this piece of designer series paper, which is not the right size. I did this wrong. Hang on, Kelly. I think I measured wrong. I did too. I want this to be 3 inches in here, so never mind. We'll try again. After my oh so careful explanation, we're going to do it again. This has been the story of my day. I recorded a video this afternoon for YouTube, and I managed to cut one piece of paper the wrong color and then put my inside in the card upside down. And so that is just the story of Kelly's life right now. Anyway, so we're going to go again. We're going to cut 4 1/4, but I made it too long. So what I need is 1 1/4, and then 2 1/2, the centerpiece needs to be 2 3/4. I better measure twice. No, 3 inches. So the centerpiece needs to be 3 inches. So I'm going to put that fold at 3 inches and score again. And then I'm going to put that fold marker at 1 1/4. And I'm going to score again. And then I'm going to put that fold marker at 1 1/4, and I'm going to cut. So there we have it. So it's actually 8 inches, I believe. Let's just make sure I've got this. 8 inches. Yes, sirree. I have made a bridge card before, believe it or not. So here we go. Now we've got the right size. We're going to fold this in. Let's start over. Fold in and burnish. Fold in and burnish. Fold out and burnish. Fold out and burnish. And now when we fold flat, we have a card base that is 5 1/2 inches. Ta-da! Come on, laugh with me. You might as well. Or laugh at me, whatever. I don't care. So now I'm going to take this pattern paper. This is going to go in the background. Thank you, Nancy and Catherine. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So this is going in the center. And there we have it. That is going to be in the background of our bridge. Now we have 2 other strips here. Oh, by the way, that piece is 2 1/2 by 4 inches. And these pieces are 1 by 4 inches. And they are going to go on here as well, on the outside bits. So we're going to just, I need my silicone mat. Where are you? There it is. This is going to help because when I can't get this started, I can just give it a little tap and there we go. Okay. I'm always wishing for my silicone mat on my desktop, and it's always hiding somewhere. I'm going to have to get something to store it in so that when I go to use it, it's just right there, you know? Because it's so thin and just kind of neutral, and it blends in with all the Craftermath. Here we are. And when I put it, I have a big bag I store a lot of things in, but when I put it in there, it just falls to the bottom and gets lost. So here we are. Now, I'm going to set this aside for a moment. I can do one more thing. I'm going to take this. This is going to be the bottom piece for my bridge card, and I'm just going to put this designer series paper on it. And this is just a little strip I cut from the O Holy Night Designer Series paper. This piece is 7/8 by 5.5, and this piece is 5/8 by 5.25. So let's just put a little adhesive on here. There we go. There. All right, now we'll set those pieces aside. And I'm going to do the stamping. I'm going to stamp 3 things, all sentiments for this. So I need this piece, and looks like I forgot my ink. This is what happens when you have it's almost like ADHD brain for me lately, except I'm not ADHD, but it's working the same way because I keep forgetting what I'm doing and have to, like, I get distracted by something, and then I have to go back and remember, what was I doing before? So I absolutely adore the sentiments in this stamp set. It's funny because when I first looked at it, I thought, do I want just a sentiment stamp set? But I am loving it. So we're going to take the O Holy Night. Just going to move things down a bit because it looks like I'm too high in the camera. And we're going to ink this one up. And O Holy Night is just going to fit onto this circle. This is a deckled circle, and it is the one that is a little less, about 2 3/4. It's a little less than 3 inches. Let's just check here. Yeah, it's about 2 7/8. So then I'm going to do the Joy and Peace. Ink that one up. One of the things I like about these two is you get a nice clear image, like a clear sentiment. You're not getting, it's not so thin that you can't really see it. I used to have words. All right, and here we go. The stars are shining brightly. Love this. It was interesting how many people, O Holy Night was their favorite Christmas carol. It's so hard to sing, but it's so pretty, isn't it? Okay. When I had a post on my Facebook page, and people really liked the O Holy Night Christmas carol. All right. Now we're going to bring our bridge card back. And the easy part is this. It's going on the back. So I'm just going to flip that. Make sure I have it right side up. Once a day is enough times to make that mistake. There we go. All right, beautiful. And that's your spot to write your name or who the card is for. And then on this side, we're going to put this deckled circle. Now the tricky part is figuring out exactly where to put the deckled circle, because you want it to be low enough that the manger isn't going to hide it, and high enough that the nativity isn't going to hide it. So I found just slightly lower than center was the best trick. Yeah, Nancy, once a day you can make a card with it inside out or sorry, upside down, but don't do it more than once a day. Okay, here we go. So a little bit lower than center. And that is there. Now I'm going to take my nativity and, oh, first I'm going to do this. This little guy is going to go across, and this is easy to put on. Don't make it harder than it has to be. I'm going to start by putting adhesive down here. Get that going again. Okay, and this is going to come down here in the corner. And then we're going to fold this piece in, and the bridge is going to close here. So we're going to apply some adhesive right down here to hold that in. Okay, I don't want that sticking on there, or I'm going to get it on my card. There we are. So now this is where we are at for our O Holy Night. So we're going to bring in the nativity. Now, the interesting thing about the nativity is it's a little bit too tall if we use it this way to fit in the envelope. So what I did is I simply snipped off the bottom bits. Just removed those. Then I figured out where I wanted this to go. So I took my nativity, making sure that the peak of my manger or my stable is going to be below the 4 1/4 part of my card. Now, having looked at this, I can see where I want this to land. Okay, so I'm going to snip off a little bit because I want it to land inside this kind of, I was going to say dirt, but the ground. So I'm going to snip that bit off. Then I'm going to take it and come over here and measure the same size piece off the other side of the stable. And then these pieces are going to get glued back on to the bottom. So I'm just going to take a little dab of adhesive here on the bottom of one and the bottom of the other. And then these are going to go on top again to make the base of the stable. I want to get the textured side up. There we go. I have a little bit more adhesive there than I needed, but I can rub it off with my glue eraser when it's dry. Okay, now I can apply this to my card. And I found the easiest way to do this part was to use some glue dots, because we're dealing with smaller bits here now. And glue dots are easy to use for that sort of task. So the hard part is of seeing them on the strip of paper, but other than that, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to take a little bit here, and it's going to go on the edge of my stable here. Oop. Stick down there. One on the other side. I do want it to be over far enough it's not going to get stuck in there. And then I'm going to take and do one at the bottom. on the other side at the bottom. And then once I get it on here, I can decide if I need any more. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Again, making sure that my stable is below the point of my bridge. And also making sure that my bridge is going to be, how can I say this? That my bridge is going to be even on both sides. I want my stable to be centered there. And so I can see this, it's not quite centered because I've got this little bit is a little lower than the other. So I'm going to just lift that up and shift a titch. To make sure, and then I should be able to fold it flat in either direction. And I think we are golden. Okay, so there we go. That was the hard part there, just getting that fit on so that your stable is balanced and even on both sides. Now I'm going to take my nativity, which is cut in one piece. I used boho blue for it, and it's going to go in the center here. So I'm going to apply some glue dots to the bottom of it. And I'm just going to apply the glue dots to the bottom because that is the part that's going to touch the ground. But because I'm only putting them on the bottom, I'm using a fair number of them. And this is going to go across the bottom here, like so. So again, I can push that down flat and it stands up beautifully. Okay, now I've got my joy and peace sentiment. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to trim it to add in here. My joy and peace. And I'm going to angle cut this end like so. I'm cutting it on that diagonal because I like the J and how that angles. And then I'm going to take my little piece down here to the other end. And I'm going to line it up so that I can see how to cut it basically the same on this end, on that same angle. And then we'll put some adhesive on that. Oh, I did use dimensionals before, but I guess I'm not this time because I didn't. Just because I didn't. Here we go. And I'm going to position this. I want it kind of centered in the ground. I should have put dimensionals on there. I'm going to put dimensionals on there. That means I have to kind of get rid of that adhesive though, because I don't want that adhesive to make it to go flat. There we go. But I like it better with dimensionals. And this is my day of do-overs. What can I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Removing dimensionals is definitely the hurrier I go, the behinder I get thing, isn't it? So now I'm going to pop this up. So when I was talking about putting this in the center, so I want it in the middle of this strip from top to bottom. So if you can imagine, you can't really see where that top would be. Visually, it doesn't show up, but by doing it that way, it just seems visually appealing to me, that if you could see that bit of ground, it would be balanced top and bottom there. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to put a star trinket on here. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to just take one of these little star trinkets and put it on the top of the manger, and that is just my finishing touch there. And you have a beautiful card here to go now in a Very Vanilla envelope, because I've used Very Vanilla for my stamping. So that is great. And as I said, you've got a spot. Oh, I got a little adhesive there, but it's coming off. Yeah, on the back for your sentiment, and you can fold it flat to write on it. This is my idea of a perfect holiday card because it stands up on the mantle and looks beautiful. There's a place to write on it. It folds flat to mail. It's got all the criteria that makes a perfect holiday card in my mind. All right. Now, just to review, I want to go back over the cards that are for my Night Divine class, which is November 30th. It is not on Facebook. It is on Zoom, and you need to register in advance. The cost of the class is $75 if you want the stamp set and the star trinkets, $100 if you want the bundle and the star trinkets. And of course, you also get the material to make all of the cards. So we have the Holy Night card, Glory to God in the highest, Joy and Peace, He shall be called Wonderful Counselor, and then the bonus card, which is The Lord is my Shepherd. If you want a second set of those cards, you can pay an additional $15 and I will send you the die cut pieces and so on for the additional set of cards. So thanks for being with me tonight, friends. As I mentioned at the beginning, it's so helpful to me if you like and share the video, because that helps me with the Facebook algorithms, and that's what life is about for me these days. So I do appreciate it if you're able to do that. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I hope I'll see you back here next Tuesday night. I think I'll be doing another holiday card, but it will be a different stamp set next week. So let's wait and see what I come up with. Take care. Bye now.